The script itself actually is what drew me. Unlike a lot of people, I didn't have a lot of knowledge about what had gone before. I just read the script really fresh, which is kind of a great way to do it, because then you come without a lot of baggage and just have a reaction. And I then afterward learned about Anne of Green Gables and what it meant to a lot of people. What I loved was the idea of this little girl who had become an icon, really. The character of Anne as a little girl, of what she would become. One of the things about her as a child was her openness, her complete nakedness in terms of her emotions, and how that would translate into an adult Anne, because you couldn't kind of maintain that same sort of innocence that she had, but at the same time, it's the same person. I think her struggle is kind of the struggle that we all have, which is identity, figuring out where home is inside yourself. And you know, that's what's ultimately touching about the little Anne not belonging to anyone and not belonging anywhere, and translated into the adult Anne who finally figures it out. And that was great. It was really interesting. I prepared mainly by dealing with the script in great detail with Kevin. We went through it really delicately and completely, and he was so open to my ideas. It was a real beautiful experience for me, and that pretty much gave me everything. Once I knew what he wanted and he knew what I was thinking, and it was all attuned, then it was just a question of, you know, the regular internal work that you do as an actor, where you find it inside yourself. What people identify with is basically her goodness as a human being, but also her struggle because she had such a rough beginning, to figure out who she is and to figure out her place in the world.
She had such a...
I didn't have a lot of first-hand knowledge of the effect of Anne on people, and I'm glad, because it would have been a pressure, and I really wanted to approach it more innocently and purely than that, trying to match up to something in terms of people's expectations versus just something that I feel innately about the character. People think that acting is lying. I've had people say it to me, oh, you must be a good liar, you're a good actor, and I think, no, that's bad acting. Good acting is telling the truth. And it's getting to a place of the truth about the character. There's this sort of zone where it's happening to you instead of you making it happen. You'd love to live in that zone, but you can't. But when you're lucky enough to get to those places in acting, and you know, and if I'm lucky in a film, it'll happen 4 or 5 times maybe, you can't make a mistake. All the details are there. You're not thinking about that. You're just there in this truthful place, and it's this place of kind of openness. It just was in the script, really. It just was peeled away slowly in the script that finally she comes to this place. And you know, it's not a big revelation, it's just she realizes it, that who she is, and doesn't mean she won't struggle, doesn't mean she won't have troubles, but you know, somehow they'll be of her making rather than someone else's making, and it was a great journey. It's a great journey.